Hey everybody, it's Christine McAlister here, coming to you with starting off with a little hello from the dogs. One is showing off for you, using my arm and trying to get me to play, either me or his sister. So it's Isley and Pogo. I am so excited to be with you this afternoon. Jenna, hello. Hello. Hi. Hi, Wally. My name's Christine McAlister. I'm the founder of Life with Passion. Hey, Jacqueline, which provides support and mentorship to women who want to start their own businesses and or grow their own businesses so they can quit their job and live the life that they want to live. So today I'm coming to you for the first time in over 2 weeks without a huge bandage covering my right eye following a nasty fall I had that split open my forehead, and you wouldn't believe the before pictures because now I'm cleared to let it out in the open and cover it up with makeup. 11 stitches. You can see. Hey, Angie. See it all in there. There's still several stitches inside. Thank you for the heart. But I'm cleared by the doctor to go out and to not cover it up anymore, basically. Thank you, Jenna. Jenna says it looks good. So that's the big reveal. But I wanted to talk with you and take your questions today about why I know you can do this. I want to hear what doubts you have in your mind about why this isn't possible for you, and I want to deal with those. Because if you have them, a bunch of other people do too. And to be honest with you, I am so inspired on a daily basis by the women who are part of the Life with Passion community, as well as the women who are my private clients. I had an incredible, hey, welcome. I had an incredible half-day intensive this morning with one of my clients, and I was just so impressed with her. So impressed with her drive, so impressed with her vision, so impressed with her goals. And it got me thinking, as I talk to a lot of women around the world, I talk to a lot of women who feel like they're stuck, who feel like, this might not happen for them, who feel like they just don't know what to do. They don't know what the next step is. They're feeling kind of anxious, or they're maybe even feeling hopeless, or just not sure what to do. And so I realized that, the clients that I'm working with right now, they are an incredible group of women, but the thing that distinguishes them from the people who are feeling stuck is that they followed their gut and they started, to be honest. They started with whatever that next step was. And so at this point in their journeys, a lot of them, have their gut, their instinct, their intuition has told them, all right, to work with Christine, this is the next step for me to grow my business, right? And so they're working with me privately. But there are so many women who could take that next step, and it doesn't have to be hiring me. It doesn't have to be anything that costs a lot of money. It just needs to be a start. And so I want to know, what is holding you back right now? What doubts are you hearing in your mind, in your heart, in your, what's waking you up in the middle of the night, keeping you awake at night? What are those things that you're hearing that are holding you back? If it's money, which is the one that I hear the most, well, what about money? How can we challenge what's going on so that you're not just spinning a million plates anymore, so that you're not just keeping yourself in the same place and waiting for something outside of yourself to change your situation? If you've been following me, and thank you for the hearts, thank you. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know that I am open about my story and about what changed for me. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade, but early last March, my first daughter, Maeve, passed away unexpectedly right before her due date. So that totally turned my world completely upside down. as you might imagine. So I found myself, having gone through an entire pregnancy, healthy, feeling like, I'd done everything to prepare. The car seat was in the car. I'd finished my last baby shower. And then the next day I went in for a routine appointment and found out that she had passed away, and had to go through then an induction and a delivery and planning a funeral, all within, the matter of about 48 hours. So in my recovery, and climbing, out of that hole and figuring out what my new normal was going to be like as now the mother of a baby who died, I got really clear on taking responsibility for my own life. I knew that there was nothing I could have done to change that, but that I wanted to be in control of what I could change. And so I realized that there were some areas of my life where I was making excuses, where I was playing small, where I was being really stubborn about insisting on figuring things out on my own and not being willing to ask for help, because I've always been a really strong, really independent, I should be able to figure this out and I should be able to figure it out for free kind of person. And I got to the point where I realized, look, if I'm not living up to my full potential, if I have dreams that aren't coming true, it's my responsibility to change that. And I am going to do what it takes. So what is that for you? I take a stand for women not having to go through a tragedy like that in order to create the life of their dreams. Or maybe you've been through something awful and you've survived that. So now you know what you're capable of living through, and you have a dream or a calling or a message to get out there, and you can use that mess that you went through to share your message. And you don't have to let fear and anxiety and overwhelm and doubt hold you back anymore. Because the truth is, I share my story so that I'm not just fluffy, motivational person who's never had anything happen to her and is like, you shouldn't complain, you should just do stuff, right? Because if I can survive that, and so many of you have been through things that you have had to fight to survive, had to fight to overcome. And guess what? You're still here. And you're watching this video. So question, that's what a calling to write, but how do you publish without money? Self-publish. Self-publish. I have a lot of friends who've done that. Effort. You're trading time for visibility, because there are tons and tons of resources out there that are totally free on how to self-publish. You have a calling to write but don't know how to go about it. Great. Amazing. All right. I've actually just been listening to Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic, which, she's a writer, right? She wrote Eat, Pray, Love, along with a lot of other things. And she is huge on creativity and calling, and how to continue to live your calling if that's what you're called to, no matter what. And, she did what it took. She worked odd jobs in order to be able to continue writing. And because she felt that was her calling. And so maybe I'm reading that book just for you. Yeah, Jacqueline says Create Space and Amazon are great options to self-publish. Totally. Check out Big Magic. I think you're going to really understand her viewpoint. She's very much like, look, I just knew I had to write. I never had a guarantee of how it was going to go, but I knew that was my calling. And so basically, damn it, I was going to do it. I highly recommend it. Jacqueline says, I'm really wanting to read that book. Read it. Go for it, girl. I've been listening to it. It's not that long. You write inspirations and poetry too, Jaquel. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Correct me. You write inspirations and poetry too. Awesome. Awesome. Here's the thing. The world, if you have these ideas and, okay, Jacqueline. Okay, you just got it shortened. Okay, great. 2 Jacquelines on here. Easy. If you've got a calling to get that message out, then it's your responsibility as well. I believe that. I believe inspiration doesn't come to us just for the heck of it, right? Like, there are people who need to hear your message. I have a friend who wrote this beautiful essay about grief. He actually lost his son, and that is how I met he and his wife. They lost their son in labor, and he's a very thoughtful, introspective, he's a beautiful writer, and he decided he was going to write this message on this essay, long essay on grief, because he needed to, right? That's how he's making sense of things. Like, there's this quote that says, "I don't know what I think until I write about it." And he wrote this beautiful essay on grief. Very good. You're writing. I'm so glad. And so he wrote, and guess what? It's being published by this little house, this little publishing house that does like small works and short stories and essays and that kind of thing. And he's getting to help design the book himself so that the feel of it even ties into the words and the font and the paper itself, and everything about it sounds like this incredible, I can't wait to buy it. It's incredible. But he did not write that thinking, I'm going to go to this like small publishing house and have them help me write it. Like, he wrote it because he needed to. So what is the story that you need to tell? I have a background in video production and documentary making. And when I was in grad school, for my thesis project, my mentor at the time challenged me not to write a thesis paper, which I knew I could knock out of the park because I love to write, but to take the risk, because I was very interested in becoming a producer at the time, to take the risk and actually create a thesis project, a thesis video. Jacqueline says, I have stacks of writings I've been writing for years, need to get it out there. Awesome. Pick your favorite. Pick your favorite. And if you have stacks of writings, here's the thing. Maybe you want to put it out there for free to start building some of it, to start building a following, and to start having interactions with people. It's the only thing that people love to listen to. What do you mean? What's the only thing that people love to listen to? Healing. Clarify what you mean by that a little bit, Jacqueline. I am telling you, there's no wrong way to go about this. Yeah, words of inspiration. There's no wrong way to go about this for you, because if you're meant to make money doing this, and Coach Jacqueline says, have you thought about a blog? Absolutely. The thing is that as a writer, you're always going to be writing. So holding it back because, it's not published or you're not getting paid for it right now, like, you're not doing anyone a service, just to be really blunt. You're not doing yourself a service, and you're doing a disservice to the people who could be helped by you. Here's the great thing about you say, I would like to, but I'm intimidated. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? You posted it on Facebook. Great. What are you scared of? While you're typing, let me tell you, this documentary that I did, tell us why blogs scare you. You say blogs scare you. Tell us why. Well, we'll talk about that. This documentary that I wound up making as my thesis project, I was scared out of my freaking mind because guess what? Oh, by the way, I was interning for PBS at the time, the PBS affiliate in Texas where I was in grad school. And it was going to air if it was good enough. What? I was 22, 23 at the time. All of these things were happening. Angie says, I was afraid too. I love blogging now. Yeah, Angie's amazing. You got to check her out. Angie, put your website in here. Equine Wellness. Put your URL. Hello. So anyway, this documentary that I did was, it wound up completely changing the course of my life. And guess what I named it? 2005. I named it Life with Passion. Life with Passion was the title. It went on to win some national and international awards. It aired across the PBS network. And it was when I decided to start this business after losing Maeve to help other people live the life of their dreams. I named it This Theme of My Life. Okay? Because here's the thing. EquineEssentialWellness.com. Check out Angie's blog, Jacqueline. Check out Angie's blog. You may have different topics, but here's somebody who was scared to write and put it out there, and now she loves to blog. So check her out. She's awesome. And she has an amazing story. Life with Passion was the story I needed to tell at the time. I needed to tell a story. What it's about was two women who had found purpose. One is the owner, one is the manager, of perpetuating this rare bloodline of Arabian horse. They had found purpose, very different paths in life, by perpetuating this breed, by preserving it, and by helping other people around the world become owners. Everybody from like the average person, a librarian, to like they sold some to the Crown Prince of Saudi, right? And celebrities and everybody in between. They had found their purpose. One of them was a high school dropout. Another one was, a housewife whose husband worked all the time. And together, the two of them formed this incredible, beautiful business. And I needed to know, getting ready to graduate, that it was possible for me to live the life of my dreams. And so when I found their story, I knew, okay, not only was it about horses, which I love, and they come across beautifully on camera, but oh my gosh, these women are living a life of passion. And so I told that story. So what story do you need to tell? Because whatever is personal is universal. So whatever you're going through, whatever you've been through, whatever you've written about, someone else's need to hear that story, right? So it's time. It's time for you to start that blog. Jacqueline, if you want to hop on the phone with me, I offer free 30-minute coaching calls. Go to lifewithpassion.com/survey and fill it out. It's a short survey, and then we'll get you a link to my calendar. It's like a $350 value. 30 minutes with me. We can talk through what's going on with the fear, and we can get you the inspiration and the motivation you need to bust through that and get this blog going. Yeah, I would love to help you with that, because it sounds like it's something that you're really being called to do. Like you said, you're called to be a writer. You're scared. Fear is often a really good indicator we need to pay attention to of what exactly it is that we need to do. And fear is just our brain trying to keep us safe. Now, let me show you the site. lifewithpassion.com/survey. This picture of me looking a little crazy. Lifewithpassion.com/survey. So go there, fill out this little survey. Oh, thank you, Jacqueline. Yes, that was pre-fall, pre-scar. And I've got some spots this week. I would love, love, love to connect with you. It's one of my favorite things to do, devote 30 minutes to helping you get your next right step. So whatever is going on with you, we can deal with it. Or you can ask some more questions right here if you want. I'm happy to support you. This fear thing is really, really common, but we cannot let it control our actions. And I think that's one of the things that I really have stepped into since losing Maeve, was sort of this sense of like, what do I have to be scared of anymore? Like, I've already been through, what the experts, the grief experts say is categorically the worst loss. So, great. Let's do this thing. You say, It's the area of where do you write? Well, what are you most excited about today? That's where you write. Or go back through. You do not have to generate new content, because guess what? If it's just sitting there, all that old stuff is already new. It's new to everyone else but you. Nobody else knows about it. And you do not have to generate a ton of new content because you've already been generating it. It's already done. So now it's time to start putting it out there. It's my dog chewing on a bone in the background if you hear that noise. Anyway, it's time to start putting it out there. I would recommend that you might feel like throwing up, because I did the first time I was visible. I worked out instead because I was going to be one of those, you throw up or work out. That's what I told my mentor. Those were the options. You're going to push publish, and you're going to close the computer and you're going to walk away. And you're going to go do something else, knowing that you've just honored this calling that you have and this dream that you have and this responsibility that you have to be a writer and to share that gift with the world. Because guess what? God gave you that gift for a reason. You know? So we need to know about it. And there has never been a better time to get your stuff out there, ever. Free. To get it in front of exactly the people who need to see it. And this is one of my favorite quotes, because I think, especially as women, we feel like we need to have a huge plan, like you were saying. What do I write about? How do I do this? Da-da-da-da-da. We've got to have it all laid out before we start. But as Marie Forleo says, clarity comes from being engaged in something, not from thinking about it. So you've been thinking about this for a while, right? And you don't have any more clarity than you did when you started thinking about it. You just know you're scared to do it. So you may not know where you need to focus your future writings on or where you feel called until you start putting it out there. Because clarity comes from being engaged. It comes from taking action. It does not come from sitting around, mulling it over a million times in our brain, obsessing about it, thinking about it, wishing things were different, waiting for an answer. It comes from taking action. So that's your next step. That's your next step, Jacqueline. And if you want some help on exact clarity, you go to lifewithpassion.com/survey. I will help you for free. If you know what your next right step is, then girl, you better do it. You better do it. That's your calling. That's your responsibility for having this beautiful gift. And not in a way that feels like stress, but in a way that feels good. You say, when I started putting it on Facebook, I was told that I needed to write a book. Great. How's that book coming? How's that book coming? Sounds like you resonated with some people. Doesn't sound like you put it on there and people were like reporting it as hate speech or something. Coach Jacqueline says, I might take you up on that call for a different subject. Awesome. Jacqueline, yeah, it's not hate speech, right? Okay. You need to write a book. Sounds like you were getting some affirmation. Now, I don't mean to make light of fear, because fear is very powerful. Fear in its proper usage keeps us safe, because we needed fear when, we were living in a day where we could get attacked by a predator, a tiger, a lion, whatever. And we needed that sixth sense. Don't walk down this way, or, don't go down that alley, that dark alley at night by yourself, for instance. But we, living the way that most of us do now, especially, if you're live, if you're watching this video, having access to the things that you have, you're probably pretty safe. And yet, we've taken that fear into our everyday, totally modernized lives. So, gotta ask ya, are you gonna let fear keep driving? It's so funny you say that, Jacqueline says, because it's so true. It's so true, right? But it's such a powerful subconscious thing that until we recognize what's going on, we just let it keep controlling us. We just let it keep controlling us. And most people walk through life like that, just going, oh, this is how it is to be human. I disagree, because now I know there's another way, and I have been consciously educating myself, taking everything I've learned in business over the last 11 years for myself, plus all the stuff I've learned about mindset and fear and not letting fear control you anymore, to now recognize that my thoughts have actually changed. So I know it's possible because it's happened to me. I've learned a whole new way of thinking by choosing to educate myself with something other than like the normal, average, everyday, right? You don't want to be normal. You want those dreams to come true. You don't want to sit around and let fear keep driving. You don't want to act like there's something jumping out from behind a bush at you when really that's not the case. I don't want God to ask me why he didn't complete the assignment he gave me, writer Jacqueline says. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And if that's what motivates you to get it out there because you realize you have a bigger calling to help whoever your writing is going to help, then use it. Use it as motivation. You want to be different, have always been different anyway. Perfect. Use it. Most of my clients have spent their lives feeling like they're weird because average and normal is people trying to keep them safe and say, you need to stay in that 9 to 5. It's not safe to quit. What if you fail? You have no job security. I actually flip that on its head and I say, listen, working a 9 to 5 is not secure. Because something totally outside of your control is what's keeping that job. It's a manager, it's the economy, it is someone 3 levels of, management above you deciding the budget needs to be cut in your department. It does not have to do with you. But if you're responsible for the money you bring in, girl, you're gonna hustle for it because you got bills to pay. You're not relying on someone else anymore. You are way more resourceful than you know, and that is job security. That is job security. That is how, when I quit my job, which I hated and which was making me ill, and I was praying to, get in an accident or that my car would go off the road or that I would get laid off because I was so desperate to get out, but I was too scared. Several years ago, I finally quit my job, and I had to because it was either be with my husband who lived in another city or not be with my husband, and I knew, we were meant to be married. So it got to that point, that decision-making point. I quit, and I replaced my income in the first month. Done and done and done. Because I realized, okay, it's go time. Like, I'm not relying on this full-time job anymore. It's got to be done. I found a new level of motivation I had never had before. Because it was me. And I always knew I was capable. And I always knew I had these big dreams, but I let fear drive. And I don't want that for anyone else with big dreams. Because there's never been a better time to start a business and to do it for nothing. That's what I have been thinking lately, writer Jacqueline says. Am I right? The one thing I would have done sooner, now knowing what I know after 11 years in business, is to get help faster. Coach Jacqueline says she's about to take her laptop to the pool. Perfect. I struggled for a lot of years. I had replaced my income, but I was full of doubt and fear still. So, because until you change who you are, you're going to take the same issues. Like if you quit today and you started your own business, you're still going to have the same fear and doubt issues until you change what's inside, not your external situation. You could go to the prettiest place on earth, and if you're an unhappy person, guess what? You're going to be unhappy in the prettiest place on earth. If you have a big dream, but you are a critical person, you're a pessimistic person, the point is I've been saying this a lot lately. Wherever you go, there you are. You take whoever you are, wherever you go. And so I am really, really big on helping women become the people they need to be so that they build a business that supports their life rather than just creating a business and letting that totally consume and control their life. That's not what Life with Passion is about. It's about living what you're meant to live, but also enjoying your life. And for a lot of years, I was that person who took my laptop on vacation, couldn't wait to check my email, wasn't engaged with my family and friends. I was obsessed thinking about work. And I'm not saying there's not a time for that, but when it becomes our identity, that's when it's dangerous. If we're doing it to get out of a job and we know it's temporary so that we can spend more time with our loved ones, I'm all for that. Let's push, 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 and let's get through it, and let's get out of that job, or let's hire that first person is what happened for me in my business after I'd been in it for a while. Well, let's hire that second person. But it's all about focus and not letting fear control you. You don't have to expect that fear is going to go away, but you do need to recognize it and say, thank you so much, for trying to keep me safe. This is not a saber-toothed tiger situation. So I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to act in spite of this. Does that make sense? Do we have more questions? Any more questions? Writer Jacqueline says it's so well said and so true. I'm so glad. I'm so glad that's helpful. All right. Other questions? Shoot them at me. I'm happy to keep answering them. Otherwise, I'm gonna go. I'm really, really glad you all have joined me today. This has been a great back and forth. I'm glad you've been so engaged with the questions. This is why I do what I do. I love to help. Yep, Coach Jacqueline has one. Let's go. Let's go. Jacqueline's are firing them off today, ladies. Yep. Shoot it at me. This is super, super important. If this has brought up some stuff for you, and you're writers, I would journal about it. I would make sense of it. I would use it to help you know what you think, because it's going to be a new habit. Awesome. Writer Jacqueline says, I'm going to catch the replay so I can write things down and check the site out. I love it. I'm so glad. Woohoo! Writer Jacqueline, join my Facebook group, Life with Passion Society. It's over 550 women now who are all on the path to quitting their jobs and creating the life of their dreams, building their dream businesses, every single one of them all around the world. Super encouraging. So I would love to have you there. It's totally free. I'm in there every day. Coach Jacqueline says, how do I finalize my pricing? Why isn't it finalized yet? I mean, you've been working on this for a while, right? Not to challenge you, but sometimes I get a little really honest because that's why I'm here. You know I'm an encourager at heart, but sometimes we got to be real. What you say you're struggling. Why are you struggling? With what? Give you a little view while Jacqueline's typing. A little pond with the fishes. And I was thinking, oh, it'd be so pretty to have water lilies in it. And then guess what? Water lilies came up. I've only been here 6 months, so we didn't know all this new stuff is coming up. This is the dream house that we moved into. Again, after losing Maeve, got really, really clear on what I want in the neighborhood anymore. Let's go somewhere else. Jacqueline says, we found the right person to motivate us. Oh, does that mean me? That's so nice. Thank you. Love the pond. I know there's fish in it. There's fish in it. My husband loves to feed them. All right, Jacqueline, you want to help teens and their parents can't afford the high coaching prices, but you still want to reach your income goals. Great. What about a group program with a lower price point? What about applying for some grants? What about helping a different group and then to reach your income goals and then offering scholarships to these teen girls? What about partnering with a community organization? What about starting out offering lower prices to get your confidence up? What about targeting a different group whose parents can't afford the prices? You start with a low price point because you're still in that 9 to 5, but just to get some income in and to get you some encouragement, some confidence, and some testimonials. What about, I don't know, that's like 10 ideas right there. So pick one that sounds good to you and go with it. What do you think about that? There's always an answer for something in business. Everything is figure-outable. That is what I teach my clients. And it's another Marie Forleo quote. She's great. I do not panic when a client says to me, this is a thing I can't figure out. I've been struggling with it for 6 months or a year. Great, let's figure it out. Let's do it. It's crazy how my mind went blank and you just gave me ideas, Coach Jacqueline says. Well, that's what I do. That's my job. Yay! So you can go back and watch this if you want. You can write some of those things down. I think that's enough to get you started, because one of those is gonna lead you to the clarity that you need. Focus on one of those things that is exciting to you right now, and then get some clarity from that. But the longer you keep telling yourself, you know, my clients or their parents can't afford my prices, guess what's going to keep happening? Guess who you're going to keep attracting? There are people out there who are doing things that are way less, quote unquote, impactful than you are, and who are making way, way, way more money. So the money is available and out there, and you've got to start believing that. You charge what you want to charge. You give a discount if you want to give a discount. I would rather you have some clients at a lower price point at this point to get some clients in the door and build up your confidence and actually start helping them and get testimonials and get some momentum and have you believing this thing is going to work, than sticking to a price point just because it's a price point. Just get some clients, girlfriend. Do it. Make it a non-negotiable. Make it happen. Every time you get a client, no matter what the price point, that's one step closer you are to leaving that 9 to 5 job. What you waiting for? Does that help? Thanks, I'm going to write those down, she says. Awesome. All right. Anybody else have a question? Type yes really quick. If not, I'm going to do a countdown. And then, who knows what I'm going to do? If you're not already in Life with Passion Society, join it, please. I'd love to have you there. It's a great group. Life with Passion Society on Facebook. If you wanted to take advantage of that, please focus. Let's see. It's not going to focus. lifewithpassion.com/survey. Fill it out. It's me. Everybody in my community gets one. Happy to be of service and to help you take the next step toward the life of your dreams. Here in the US, it's a holiday weekend. However, I have opened up some spots on Monday afternoon because I'm really excited to talk with women. A lot of you are off and don't have time to talk during the week. And I've got some international ladies who are wanting to talk. So there's stuff available on Monday afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. Writer Jacqueline says, you're such a blessing. Thank you so much. Please follow me here. I love interacting with the ladies who join me here on Periscope and helping you, with inspiration and motivation that I wish I'd had on a daily basis when I was getting started. So that's why I'm here. I'm so excited to connect with you again, and have a great Saturday and a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon.